Oh no.
Throw them away. All of them. Let me see. ¿Qué es any? Let me see. Yeah, baby. Yeah, throw them away. You throw them away. Yeah, I know. All right. So we're gonna start in a couple seconds, just to let the things just go and just get through the people or the fans. That way they don't have to miss anything. All right, so this episode is gonna be very interesting. I'm very excited about it. Hopefully, y'all can hear me clearly. We're gonna start. Let me see what's going on here. Okay. So we're gonna start. Oh, all right, guys. So today's podcast is gonna be another one of those topics of self-development, which I'm a huge fan of it. So it's gonna be the episode 46 on the 5 ways to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So my name is Pablo Jose Ruiz Vargas. I'm the host of the P Alpha Music Podcast. You can find me in iHeart, Google Radio, all those great. On Apple Music, you have the Apple app for podcasts. Make sure you like and share our content. We're gonna really appreciate it. And just to make sure that you have us already in those platforms. That way, when a new episode comes down, it's already there in your feeds. All right. So today is episode 46 of the P Alpha Music Podcast. Again, the host Pablo J. Ruiz Vargas or Pablo Jose Ruiz Vargas. All right, so today's episode again is 5 ways to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Right? Since early 2011, I encountered a great variety of exercise that had really helped me a lot through the years to become a better person, right? And not only a better person, but a person that exceeded my comfort zone. As a matter of fact, that included a lot of things as simple as talking with people and stuff like that, which is a lot of the tips that I'm going to share with you guys. Doesn't matter if you're a musician, an artist, a businessman, a salesperson, a person that's struggling with girls, a person that's struggling with approaching man. It doesn't matter. These are very good tips that where you found uncomfortable, you can find uncomfortable, mindful in those weird situations. All right. In any way, the article or the blog is in the description down below. You can just follow it with me. Since I write in a blog myself, a lot of these articles or blogs are already published, so you can follow me around while I read. Okay, so let's start. 5 ways to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. All right. So, have you always wondered how to get comfortable with being in an uncomfortable situation? Have you ever wondered when will be the time where things will finally settle down and smooth sail? Or how about those irritable moments that never seem to go away? Listen, I understand where you're coming from, but the reality is that there's been There's being in a comfortable position that will always be present. However, painful or not, this a comfortable task could be a plus for you. Some fears can be battled and some may be more manageable, but have no fear. Here are 5 ways to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Okay, follow me. First one, always push yourself a little bit. Okay, this is a very interesting mindset. This is what we call the one more mentality. Instead of doing 10 reps in the gym, you do 11. Or if you run 3 miles, you push to do 3.01 mile. Always reaching for an extra mile. Okay. So let's say that, and this happens to me personally. Back in the day when I used to do a lot of pickups and stuff like that, or approaching people, approaching women, I always found that my top number when I felt that I was really getting tired was 10. Every time that I approached 10 people, I would just get, tired. Every time another one was performing, if I had a piece that was perfectly, by the third time that I play, every time that I go to my fourth one, that's when I start struggling. Okay, so now I know that's my uncomfort zone. That's where's my place that I don't want to be. So I will just push it. So instead of just going 3, I would just push to the fourth until I would make it my comfort level. So I always knew it was uncomfortable, but I always pushed to just make it comfortable. Another one was, for example, door to door. Very uncomfortable, but I wanted to make sure that even it was uncomfortable to do it or to be in that place, I will make it comfortable to me. Even always to hit that first door, I always felt uncomfortable. But the development of just making sure that uncomfortable environment was good, I always push forward. Okay, always push yourself a little bit, just a little bit. Doesn't have to be crazy, doesn't have to be a lot, but always a little bit. Okay, in any things that you think it's a comfortable. For example, an uncomfortable position for you, it could be reading one page or anything. That would be very uncomfortable for you. But now you just pushing yourself a little bit. You say, let me just read one page and then a paragraph for the next one. So little things like that. That's how you create a nice ritual. Next one. Read a chapter of any book every day. This one I still do it myself. I try to just make sure that I get a chapter every day or every time that I got the time to read. In my case, reading is just part of my life. I always read between 50 to 60 pages a day of topics that interested me. It all started within 3 pages a day, then a chapter a day, and eventually, here I am 10 books completed in 2 months. Now I'm more. By now I have over 20 something. But I always take that approach of where is my comfort zone? Okay, here's where I'm feel very uncomfortable. Let me just reach that and make it my comfort level. It was the one chapter. So one chapter for me was very uncomfortable. Now I'm trying to just push it to the 2 chapters a day. It feel very uncomfortable, but I'm always reaching to that level. This is very interesting. Say good morning to a stranger without expecting a reaction back. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Say good morning to a stranger without expecting a reaction back. And this one's very hard because we tend to give help with expecting receiving back. And this is a huge mistake. As simple as it sounds, it could be one of the most terrifying experiences for some folks. And I will explain why. When people say good morning, they tend to expect a reaction from the person receiving the blessing. Say good morning and do not expect any reaction from no one. Accept the fact that you are blessing without anything in return. Remember, by always expecting something in return, we only hurt you in the end. Learn to give without feeling the need to receive. Always give without expecting nothing in return. And this start with simply something as simple as a good morning. Just say good morning. Good morning, right? Will give you the space to at least not receive something, from someone. So just say good morning and don't expect anything. As simple as that. A lot of people try to just make this very, 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 very hard for themselves. They say good morning to people, and they're like, "Oh, but these people is just they're being so mean. They don't want to say good morning." Hey, they don't have to. They don't have to. The good has to come from you. Does have to come from nobody. So when you say something good or you do something good, right? As uncomfortable that sound, don't expect nothing from nobody. Because first of all, you're not entitled to be honest. You're not entitled to just having someone just saying, "Oh, thank you for your good morning." Maybe they will, maybe they won't. As simple as that. Say good morning to a stranger without expecting a reaction back. That's simple. And you will see how you will get comfortable of just giving back without receiving nothing from nobody. Next one. Take time to write or create. Take time to write or create. This one is simple, and I mentioned in one of my other blogs and episodes, which you can find in the link down below. Ever since I finished my master's degree, I hated the idea of sitting down and writing a word. Writer's block is real. It's real, people. When you don't want to write anymore, it's real. That stuff is real. The bad experiences of feeling intense pressure and not liking to do something that I like killed me. But as time passed, I noticed the benefit to keep my thoughts alive and share it with the world. I faithfully write in my journal every other day, as well as compose music. Writing has become a great hobby of mine, which helped me to increase my grammar and understanding of the English language in this case. Writing of being creative every day, even though I am a musician, it went down a little bit, right? It went very down. Since my master's degree, I hated just writing because I wrote so much, and I was doing it because I didn't like it, but I have to do it. It was very uncomfortable, but I did it. Either way. But as time passed, I knew the importance of writing, and even though I knew the importance of it, sitting down and write was very uncomfortable. So I started making it a habit. First, I start with my journal, writing in my journal. Then sitting down, writing my blog, at least a paragraph. Then at least a paragraph a day or in 2 days. Then composing, one measure at a time, one system at a time. It's just it felt very comfortable, but I was making myself comfortable through that process of just writing back, writing, creating. Take time to write and create, even though it always will feel uncomfortable. You will develop nice discipline. In my case, creating content like podcasts. Sometimes it creates is my body doesn't want to do it, but I still do it because I know the importance, and I know I have knowledge that people can really, really take advantage of it. So it's up to me just to make sure I feel comfortable with being uncomfortable. The last one. Last one. Learn to listen. Learn to listen. Learning the importance of how and why to listen, it really hits home. It is very uncomfortable as well uneasy to handle, but very powerful. The skill to be quiet and hear what others have to say is one of the most underrated skills, in my opinion. Listening to others while they talk or share information will put you in a hard position since our ego want in their own way. Learning to listen will give you the weapon to control your ego as well, putting you in a wiser state in your life. Have you ever noticed when you're talking with someone, you want to just jump up right into it without even listening? You know why is that? It's because your ego is in your way. Something just distracted your reality and you took it personal. So, because the information that you're receiving is being disturbed, you want to fix it. So that's why you jump in. You jump in and you want to fix it. Don't take it personal. Just listen to the other person, what they have to say. Internalize the information, right? Let them finish and then project whether the idea that you already thought was correct or not. And I think this is one of the hardest one, to be honest. Because we want always to be on top of each other. That's why we always do this. We have problem listening um, on this day and age. When we have political debates, we don't want to listen. There's one side they want to scream, the other one. Or we have debates where the capitalism or socialism or self-development based on relativism. It all comes down to a simple fact or simple act of listening. Listening will always put you in a higher state because you having self-control. So when you have self-control, you're always winning. When you have self-control, you're always winning. So there you go, guys. The 5 ways to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I hope this really helped you with some of my ideas. Be better and always try for a change in your life. I really do. Since we are in very unstable times, right? This is, I think, it's a great time to just take a little bit of time each day to just improve who you are and make sure that you're better. Listen, we have time for these things, folks. This is not that it should not be a priority of your life. At least 5 minutes of this should be a priority of your life. Simple. Don't try to change the world. Just change yourself first, and you'll see how people change. Take control of these 5 ways to get comfortable, be uncomfortable, and you'll see some changes. Just be conscious of these things. You don't have to change. Change can be sometimes a little bit how can I say, confusing, because people want to change right away. You don't change things like that. You change by momentum, creating momentum. You change by creating, right, a path or journey of certain practice, right, and certain times in the week. That's how you change. A month, 3 months, 4 or 5 months is not going to be enough. These things could take years. As more you develop yourself, then the path is smaller, of course. But this really take time, and patience. All right. So this is pretty much for the today's episode. This is episode number 46. Again, the 5 ways to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Just make sure if you have any questions, any topics that you think it should be talk about, and that way you can help. Just email me in my email, the pjalphapodcast@gmail.com. I will try to do my best to reach you, just make content and just answer any question you guys may have. And the other side, make sure that if you want to listen to the other episode, you can go to my YouTube channel, P Alpha Music, or just my Facebook, which I do my live as well. Or you can go to my anchor.fm/P Alpha Music Podcast, which you can find all the episodes. And also on the other platforms, such as Google Radio, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, so on and so forth. All right. So this was episode 46 of 5 ways to get comfortable with being comfortable. This is your host, Pablo J. Ruiz Vargas, of the host, thepalphamusic.com. See you and have a good night.